Most people think run their cafe is about good coffee and cute decor. But trust me, those are the easy parts. In the first week of opening my cafe, I nearly lost everything. And now we are doing more than £22,000 a month. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I run it. The systems, the mistakes, and the lessons that no one really tells you about. If you're thinking of starting your own, this might save you thousands or stop you from quitting. Let me be honest. Most people think that a great idea plus passion equals success. But guess what? Unfortunately, it does not. If you don't believe me, let's look at the statistics. Over 60% of businesses, they fail in their first year. However, when it comes to my own business, we're coming up to the first year, so we've been open, I think, around 8 months. We already paid nearly all of our debts and we're going to make profit really soon. And we're going to pull out the money that we put into the business and take out very soon. This happened before 1 year, so I must be doing something right, haven't I? And I don't know if you know, but I started this cafe all from scratch. Ourselves done the construction, we expanded it, so we done everything. So I didn't have any experience making coffee or cooking or any of those stuff. I just learned everything when I opened this cafe. It was a fun journey, it still is, but I learned a lot. And I'm going to share all this stuff with you so you can avoid the mistakes that I made. I'm going to make myself a nice coffee before I head out. Let me make my coffee and let's sit down and have a chat. When you open up any business, you need to shift your mindset. Now, you're not just a barista, you're a business owner. So you need to think like one. What you need to understand is, first, you need to understand the profit margins. And what do I mean by that? Let's say I get coffee, I don't know, let's say I'm selling this coffee for £3.30 and I buy it for £18 for 2.5 kg bags of coffee beans. Yeah, then you need to remember things like electricity, your rent, your staff, I don't know, your storage, the milk and everything. So you need to put everything into your mind and write your price according to that, so you have at least 20-30% profit on each item. That's minimum we're talking about. You need to write down and know how much each product costs and how much you need to sell them for. Of course, you're not going to put some crazy numbers in there, so you're not going to scam your customers. You need to make it reasonable and you need to have some nice profit. So the myths like, if the coffee is good, they will come, that's not true. They're not going to come if your coffee is good, but the price is very expensive. Forget about all that. Then you need to market right and not just serve. And to market my business, I use local Facebook groups. I do TikTok, I do YouTube. Maybe you're watching this video and you're going to come into my shop, so that helps as well. I do leaflets, I have loyalty cards, and I have more stuff that I'm going to put into place, but I'm going to make a separate video for this. So if you don't want to miss that, just subscribe. And while you're doing that, please like and comment too. It really helps a lot, especially when you comment. So the marketing is really important after the margins, because that's what's going to get the customers into your shop. And in this day and age, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they're all really important. The leaflets and whatnot, they're still important for the old people, but to bring in new generation and the young customers into your shop, you need all of that to do it. And if you get one viral video and if you be consistent, that can change your whole business. Next, you need to lead people, not only make flat whites. What do I mean by that? Because you're a business owner now, and hopefully are you going to be one, you need to be a good leader. You need to manage everyone. You need to manage your staff. You need to manage the shop. You need to manage the inventory. You need to manage everything in the beginning. So don't forget about that. And there's a thing going around. If you work hard, you will make money. And that's not true. If you work smart, you will make money. So you need to play all your cards smart in the beginning. If you're like me and if you don't have much money to burn in the beginning, so you need to play your cards smart and not kill yourself by working really hard. Now, let's get into the real stuff. These are the 5 pillars that make or break a business. I wish someone told me these stuff before I opened up Paradise Cafe. The first is the product and the menu strategy. Remember, 20% of the menu brings in 80% of the revenue. And that's called Pareto principle. When you open your business and start running, you need to look at your menu and remove the low margin products, and especially things that take lots of time to prepare. If you don't know, I use a system called Square. Now let's go onto my app. By the way, this is not an ad. If you want, you can get £1,000 worth of free transactions. There's a link in the description. You can use my link to sign up. So yeah, let's go onto my reports and let's look at the month of May 2025. When we look at our menu, you can see my high selling items. Of course, breakfast is first, then coffee, then tea, so on and so forth. And if you look at the last items, pastas, soups and salads, and the kids meal. To be honest, the soups are already made, so I'm not too bothered to take that out from the menu. I'll just leave it there as it is. But you get the point. You need to test and adapt and see where your customers take you, and you need to play your cards very smart. Then once you figure out everything, you need to focus on the items that has a high perceived value. For example, with my business, it's the coffees, it's the breakfast, it's the toasties, it's the desserts. These items have a high perceived value, but they are low cost items. So I focus on them. So I create bundles around them, deals around them to increase my revenue, which it works. When I first opened up Paradise Cafe, we used to do, I think, muffins and selection of croissants. But after some times, I realized that they're not that fast going. They're not selling as much as I thought of. So I just completely removed them after like a couple of weeks opening. After opening a couple of weeks, I just removed them totally, because you have to keep them fresh and sell them fresh, and they didn't sell for weeks and weeks. So I just removed them completely. Now we don't do croissants or muffins or anything because they're not selling fast, and it's expensive to maintain them fresh because you have to buy them every morning, and which wasn't working for us. And I just removed it completely. And let me throw some facts at your face. An average cafe business in UK, their margins on food is like 60%, and it's 80% on the drinks. So your job is to build a menu around high margin items. It's easy as that. Now let's talk about pricing and profitability. Most cafes go bust not because the food is bad. What they don't understand is their margins. So take a note of these because you're going to need them in the future, and these are all for free. First, your labor should be under 30 to 35% of your revenue, and your food costs should be under 20 to 25% of your revenue. So you need to make a list of all your stuff, all the products you buy, basically write them down how much you sell it for. Then you're going to figure out your profit margins on each item, then add them, then minus it as well, and you will see how much it's going to cost you. And you can find out your margins like that. It's very simple, but I know it's a time-consuming thing to do, but it's very important, so you have to do it. And you need to have add-ons on the menu, like oat milk, like caramel syrup, like vanilla, hazelnut. You get the point. When you add those to the menu, your average order value will increase massively. In my cafe, I realized that people were asking for extras. So after some time, like Cobb and coffee deal for £3.50 with only one topping. I ran that for a few times, got customers in, then removed it, but I'm going to put more bundles and deals in the upcoming future, which you will going to see on my channel. So make sure you subscribe, like and comment so you don't miss anything about my channel. And now I'm going to give you a free psychology tip. Use prices like £2.95. $3.95, $4.95. The brain registers it cheaper for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. Next point is marketing and community building. You have to be on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter or X, on Reels, on Instagram. You have to be on all the social platforms because according to the research, 71% of the Gen Zs that decide where to eat by just looking at social media. And if you look at my business's TikTok account, one of my videos got more than 80,000 views. And that week alone, I just got 100 more customers by just creating a simple TikTok video, and it helped my business a lot, which was, by the way, all free to do. So you have to build a community online. You have to be present online. Don't forget that. It is really important. If you're not doing it, you're missing out. And you have to build a loyalty locally. What do I mean by that? So let's say you have hairdressers next to you. Just go up to them, speak with them. Let's say if they get their hair done from them, you can give them a free coffee. Or let's say if they get breakfast from you, maybe they can get 10% off on their next hair dyeing or hair cutting or something like that. I don't even know. So you have to work with the people around you, get your name out there and build trust within the local community. And it is really important. Just so you know, all the stuff I'm saying in this video is all really important. So you make sure you take notes and apply these to your own business if you have one or if you plan to open one. And you need to get your customers to post online. So how can you do that? In my shop, we do take a lot of care and pride in our product presentation. So when they buy a breakfast, we set it in a way so it's Instagrammable. And when people buy the breakfast, they always take pictures. And I actually do see them taking pictures and posting online, which helps a lot. And I have my logo in the inside of the shop as well. So if they take selfie or anything, it's always in the background and they tag us. That gets us more customers as well. So when you have local collabs and online presence, that brings hybrid growth. It's inevitable. It is going to happen. Just follow these steps. take all the organic content you can get from your customers, make them post something without you saying anything. Make sure you look at every detail, and your customers will do the rest, and your name will be out there and you'll be known by locals, and you'll be the top choice for everyone. The fourth pillar is your staff and the systems. Your staff is your biggest asset, or your biggest liability, I should say. So you need to set expectations when you're onboarding people. You need to have checklists and small incentives. And please do not overstuff or understuff. Always use your data and look at the sales and plan your rota on top of that. Have part-time stuff, have full-time stuff, have emergency stuff as well that people can help you. You never know. Maybe one of your stuff might come in or might not come in, so you can call someone in and send someone home. Just tell them if there's no work, I can send you home early. Are they fine with that? Ask them if they are flexible, so on and so forth. So you're always covered. If you can have it, have digital clock-ins, track your daily waste, and I have a checklist for opening and closing, and it will save 40% of the errors that you're gonna have in the future. And pro tip for you, never take your staff's tips, okay? Don't touch them. You're the owner, you're the businessman. You don't get tips. Fifth and the last pillar is your customer experience. The vibe, the lighting, the smell, everything matters. So let's go around my shop and see how I managed to get that in. If you look around my shop, that's a diffuser. It diffuses like smells basically. That's what it does. That's a diffuser. We turn that on. We have scents here, which is still open and running, going around. Also, these are the baby formulas that we give away for the local community, for those who are in need. If you look around my shop again, as you can see, I got more diffusers around the shop, located around the shop. And for the music, what I do is I have a little speaker just down here, as you can see. It's just right here, and I turn that on during the day when the shop is open. You have that nice music playing in the background while you're eating your food and everything. So all of this stuff will hook your customers, because remember, people will always remember how you made them feel. It's not about what you serve them, it's about how you made them feel, which is really important. And make sure you use names, learn the orders, and get to know your customers. Build a third place experience, not your home, not your work, your cafe. That's basically what it is. So people know this place as their own cafe. So your own business as their own place to come and sit down, chill, eat, whatever you're serving, whatever you're doing. So this should be their go-to place. So at Paradise, more than 60% of our loyal customers, I know their names, I know their orders. That's what makes them come back to my shop. And when they come again, they bring their friends too. They go around the community, they tell about my shop, they say, I go to Paradise, they're really nice. The staff is really nice. If you look at my Google reviews, that proves my point. All these 5 pillars that I've used in my business, it made me go from a new cafe in Nottingham to a cafe that makes over £22,000 in sales. But most importantly, it helped me build something that runs smoothly and runs even if I'm not here as well. And if you don't believe me that we've made £22,000 in the amount of sales, here you go. I'm going to show you my sales. And this was the square system I was talking about. Oops, what did I press? Reports. If we go on, the month of May, and when I press done, as you can see, I made 23,000 in just May alone. Now I'm gonna share some common mistakes which you can avoid easily. The first one is overexpanding your business. I know you might ask, this was my business, so this door wasn't here, it was only 6 tables in here. I've expanded my business with opening in 3-4 months. You might ask me, well, Taser, you expanded pretty quick without any solid foundations. But however, I knew my product was good, my customer service was good, and the customer feedback was top notch. So I knew if I expanded my place, there was a big potential. It was still a risk, don't get me wrong, but I took the risks and I expanded it, and my revenue doubled. That's what happened. Sometimes you need to take a risk as well, to be honest, if I'm not lying, but it has to be calculated. But sometimes you cannot calculate everything, and you can calculate the risk, but it's always 50-50. Come on, I'm not gonna fool you and say don't do anything stupid, but sometimes you have to. Otherwise, you will never find out. And you need to keep track of your financial metrics. You need to look at your data and your stats and have a proper tool that you can rely on, which tracks the data and everything, so you can know what you're selling, what you're not selling, and have everything and know everything. It is really important to do that too. And the third mistake is neglecting marketing. You have to market your business properly, otherwise you will fail, because marketing is everything. With marketing, you can double your sales, increase everything you have within your business. Marketing is really important. It is really important. Even right now, I'm doing YouTube, I'm talking to you. This is marketing as well. This is positive marketing. So start a YouTube channel, maybe start a TikTok, start Instagram, start anything you can do. Maybe hire someone to do that for you, because it is really important. Give out flyers. I don't know, do loyalty cards. Look, I'll show you. I do have loyalty cards as well. Even this is marketing. You see, this is my loyalty card. Paradise loyalty card. When you get 6 teas or coffees, the next one is free. You see, that keeps people coming into my shop. So if you're starting a business, or you already have a business and want to grow your income and everything, this is how I got Paradise Cafe from making £0 to now earning more than £20,000 a month, which I am sharing everything with you online, on YouTube, on TikTok, on whichever platform you're watching me on. And I'm serious on building a course soon. But before that, there's a free email checklist down in the description, which you can sign up, and it will explode any business if you just follow those steps. It is free, it's in the description. You can just put your email and I will email you personally, and I will follow up on you as well to see how it's going. It is free, so make use of that. If you have business or thinking to plan to open up a business, it will really help you. And if you want to learn how I went from driving buses to becoming a business owner, just watch this video and I will see you guys on the next one.
MrTasar made another video. If you liked it, press subscribe down below.